Hello friends, Johnny here and welcome once again to my channel. If you are here, I'm just going to discuss with you something very critical. I feel it a lot of times and I think it's something that should be discussed. It's about the voices we hear within us. There are times when you want to do something or you want to achieve something and something strongly come against you, trying to make you feel like you can't do it, you're not enough, or they begin to point to your insecurities to tell you that you won't succeed at this thing because you are that. If you feel this way, stay tuned as I share with you in this week's video. So as I said in the introduction, there's this voice that really amputates our potential and cap it up to the extent that when we decide to move the next step further or even at the starting point, it jumps in to make us feel like we can't do something. This is a very strong voice that if we don't really pay attention to, it's going to cripple us and make us inactive in our endeavor or in anything that we want to really succeed at. This is real because it exposes us to our insecurities. This is what the voice does, because he knows that we are starting out and we suck at what we are trying to do. He tells us that, hey, you are not good enough. Hey, you are not that. Hey, you are not this person, so you can't do this, you can't achieve this. And you tend to believe it because if you think about it, yeah, it's true. I'm trying to speak to people, but I'm struggling. I'm trying to write a book, but the words are not coming. I'm trying to make a video, but I think it's horrible. I'm trying to take the perfect pictures, but it's not working. And then you begin to believe it because it seems real. But this is actually not true, because everything that we try to do in the beginning, we struggle at, or everything that we are trying to do in the start is not going to come out so easy. It's not going to come out so smooth like we think. Once the voice within us is trying to make us believe this, we tend to side with it. And if you are not careful, you are going to think that your being or your potential is stuck in that position. But that is not the truth. No one is stuck there. Once you are starting out, you feel this. Everyone feels it. When you are starting something in the beginning, you are not your perfect self, and you need to understand that your potential to achieving greater things is so wide and great that if you decide to go further and work at what you are doing, it's going to really work out. But the moment you focus on your current situation, on your position at this time, and you put your whole potential within this position, that this is who I am, this is what I can do, this is what I can achieve, that is not going to work. That is when you begin to stay in that state. So if, for example, you are trying to train to be a soccer player, and in the beginning you are not giving accurate passes, or you are not scoring goals, or something that is really making you feel inferior to the other players who are really doing well, at the end of the day, if you stay in that state that you are not good enough, that this is what I can achieve, I am not good, and you put the I am there, you describe your being, your potential to be that state you are in now, that is the end of your career. But then if you see yourself as someone who is trying out, someone who is going to work your way to the top, that is when things begin to happen. So you don't need to stay in that moment where you are failing, the moment where you are struggling, and put your whole being within this state, because it's just an event, and every event needs to occur again and again and again. And in the future, you realize that, you look back and you realize that you really did a good job. And this is where we all need to be, that we can go further than we are now, that we have room for improvement. That is very critical. But the moment you end your whole being in this state, that is when you lose. So I just want to tell you that this voice that you hear inside of you, this voice that tells you that you can't do it, this voice that tells you that you suck, and you look back and think, yeah, it's true that you suck because you are struggling now. Don't listen to this voice, okay? Don't put yourself or your potential in prison because of this voice that you are hearing, because that's what this voice wants to do. It wants to imprison your potential, to make you feel like you can't do it. So sometimes, even if you've not heard things from people, you think that people are thinking you are not good. So Jay Shetty will say, an assumption within an assumption. You are assuming that people think, or people are assuming you are not good, but it's just an assumption in your head. Probably no one is even talking negative about you. No one is saying that you can't do it, but in your head you think people are saying you can't do it. Just forget all these voices that is happening. Even if people tell you you are not good enough, just keep going. No one is stuck in the beginning, or no one is created to just be at that point. We have a vast amount of land to work on. We have a vast amount of potential to reach out to. It's endless. You can just stretch yourself out and keep going until you make the best out of yourself. So don't end yourself by that voice that tells you can't do it. So if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comment section, and if you have any suggestions or anything that you want us to know, just write it down and we'll respond to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, and see you again next week.